Welcome to the channel once again. It is my privilege to be here to serve you today, to express myself. With this conversation of balance, I intend to enjoy, to have an eye-opening experience, to attach my energy to those who need to hear these words, to expand their perspective and perception, to also do the same thing for me. I intend to offer clarity for myself and others, and I intend to connect to whoever needs to hear this, connect to their mind, body, and spirit, and show a sense of compassion and love. Those are my intentions. Today, we are having a really, really, really deep conversation about balance. Healthy and unhealthy, allowing and disallowing, the in and the out, the yin and the yang, the yes and the no, the assets and liabilities, the flow of balance. Let's go. Today, I want to have a conversation with you about balance and how every second and every minute of our lives that we're living in the present, we are creating the rest of our lives that we will live in the future. However, there is no other powerful moment other than the present. It's always the present, right now, right now, right now, right now, and right now. So incrementally, as we live our lives, we are creating our future. And one of the ways that we do that is by reflecting and analyzing. You can tell the difference between a person who reflects and analyzes because they strive to be better at that thing the next time they approach it. Have the capability to do this in every dimension of our lives. Recently, I had a conversation with my daughter, and it felt unpleasant. It felt bothersome. It also felt like a prying type of conversation, like one person trying to get something out of another person. It felt a little territorial. It felt defensive. And it felt overall unpleasant. So what can I do about that? One would say there's nothing you can do about that. You can't control other people. The only person you can control is yourself. Well, because of our mental state, we do have the power to control the way that situations go. And how? By starting right here in right now. So because that situation played out the way that it played out, it's okay. It's perfectly fine. Continue to allow the situation to be whatever it is. And then at the time of reflecting and analyzing, that is the time for you to deliberately create how you want to feel when you have the next conversation. So it's my duty to be whoever I am and allow the situation to play out. And when it's time for me to reflect at the end of my day, for me to do some auto-suggesting, which means I'm going to write statements of intention or affirmations of intention, stating the way that I would like for this situation to be, stating the way that I'm going to see this situation play out the next time. And with that being done intentionally, deliberately, that's what I will focus on the next time. And that is what I expect to live the next time. So as you can see, you can't control people. The only person you do have control over is yourself. in the things that you attract, in the things that you think about, in the way that you feel about them, in the people that are around you, in the situations that play out around you. It seems like you have more control than you actually think that you do. Because if you are the center of the universe and everything revolves around you, it's the energy that you're emitting that is going to bounce back and bring you whatever. You people are the mirror reflection of you. So if in fact you're getting something that you don't like, it's because there's something within you that needs to be altered because of that. It is never any one person's fault that they emit a certain energy around you. It's always you. All is truly within. You are the one who is experiencing that because you are the one who's open for that. We have a practice that we use on a regular basis, and it's called segment intending. And segment intending is typically used before you enter another scene in your life. But segment intending can also be used for a long-term basis. So normally, if you're going to enter another scene in your life, you would state intentional thoughts of how you'd like to feel and what you expect to feel. Not intending to change the situation, but knowing that you're going to change the vibrational frequency within you, and you won't pick up on things that are not a part of the picture that you've created. But with that whole exercise, that could be casted for a long-term stretch as well. So you have the power essentially to say, okay, the next time I am in contact with this person, this is what I want to feel. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to hear. This is where I'll be focused. And what that's doing is, it is adjusting and aligning intentionally your vibrational frequency for the next interaction that you have with that person. And the more and more you do that, the more comfortable you'll get with that. And eventually, your frequency with that individual will automatically adjust. So throughout our lives, we're either doing one or two things. We're either allowing, which is allowing things to flow, or we are disallowing, understanding that contrast is a natural part of the evolution of who we are. It's important for us to evolve and expand and tap into the next and highest version of us. Essentially, contrast is an asset to us, not a liability. Today, we're talking about balance, because allowing and disallowing is very important. When you're allowing, you're feeling free, you're flowing, you're feeling like everything is lining up, it's perfection. When you're disallowing, it allows you to feel like crap, so that you know you don't want to disallow, you want to allow. But how do you allow when you are in a state of disallowing? You evaluate, you analyze what it is that you're disallowing, and you deliberately put yourself in a state of allowing by stating how you want to feel, because feeling is the secret. You keep in mind that happiness is the mother freaking strategy. And from here, right here, where I am, what's the quickest way for me to get the happiest that I can possibly get? Or what's the quickest way for me to get back to happy? What's the fastest way for me to get from the state of disallowing to allowing? And understanding that just because contrast came into my world, it doesn't define who I am. It actually is here to be an asset, to graduate me to the next level of who I am. Because with this contrast, there may be some disallowing. And disallowing can be very juicy because it gives me the opportunity to allow, which graduates me to the next level, the next highest and best version of myself. Today, we're talking about balance. We're talking about the necessity of friction, and that it is okay. And we work very hard to stay on track and to be as perfect as we possibly could be for us, just so that we could be free. But what if we saw the little hiccups in our world as an honor? What if we saw them as a privilege? An honor because we are here to endure them, and a privilege because we will be able to tell this story to another, and perhaps they will be able to get something out of it. We will be able to act in accordance to how we're supposed to act, and another will pick up on that and use that to benefit their lives without us even saying a word. So the way that I would play out this conversation with my daughter is I would allow the conversation to play out however it may play out, honoring myself the best way that I possibly can, being the highest version of myself that I possibly can, because this does not give me an excuse to act out of my character. And then following that, when it is time for me to analyze my day or reflect on my day, I would speak powerful words of emotions, energy emotions, that would allow me to tap into the best possible scene that I would see for the future of our conversations. So it would be a conversation a little like this. I love my child very much. I love my child dearly, and I want her to know that. And I want to feel that love from her. I want to feel that sincerity from her. I want her to be whole and complete. She is whole and complete. She has a great head on her shoulders. And when she comes to me, I want it to be very easy, very lighthearted. I want our conversations to flow. We have a relationship that allows our conversations to be easy. We have a relationship that allows our conversations to flow. We have healthy conversations, juicy talk. We have a lot of laughter and abundance and joy and girly secrets. When we are around each other, whether on the phone or in person, our energy is high and addicted and attracted to each other. Our relationship is very comforting, and it allows me to be the best version of me, and it allows her to be the best version of her. We have such a strong bond. Our love for each other is well balanced, and we have an understanding, a very intentional understanding that there are boundaries that we must set in our lives, not to offend others, but to allow ourselves to maintain the love that we have for each other without judgment. The joy that we have when we are in concert with each other is an effortless display of joy. We share a peace that provides us great alignment and honesty, happiness and love, appreciation and admiration. The smiles that we offer each other are remarkable. We benefit greatly from each other, and our relationship and conversations are smooth. That's it. That's all it has to be. It doesn't have to be anything well structured, just expressing how we feel and reiterating that to ourselves so that the next time we encounter such situations, we can really tap into really how we feel, because through the sadness and disappointments that we've talked about so much in these particular situations, especially when it pertains to our kids and them going astray and different things like that, there's a lot of negative buildup there. But it is important for us not to just balance out the negative feelings, but to surpass those negative feelings with positivity and what we want instead of what we don't want. It is important for us to talk about what we want, what we want, what we want, what we want, and only use the things that we don't want as guidance towards the things that we want. So we're talking about balance here. We're talking about likes and dislikes, things that we want and things that we don't want, an equal balance. But we should only focus on those things that are positive in adding to our world, allowing the things that are not positive to generate positive energy towards what we actually want. It's as simple as that. You can also do this in forms of affirmations, stating affirmations such as, I want my child to be safe. I want my child to be safe and loved and protected and to have peace, not over just their physical body, but their mental health. My child, I want them to have happiness throughout their day, to be grateful and display their gratitude, to be the light in the dark. I want them to have love. I want them to receive love, and I want them to give love. I want them to grow. Know that this is a journey of growth, and remember that every situation is a situation for them to become a bigger and better person. I want them to tap into their morals and ethics that I have instilled in them. I want them to be a very well-oriented individual. I want my child to have balance, to know when to say yes and no, to tap into their feelings, to figure out when something is a healthy situation or not. I want them to make good decisions, well-calculated good decisions that's going to be their path of least resistance. I want my child to love me and display the love for me. That's it. These are the things that we can do. We can say them in forms of affirmations, or we can say them in forms of emotional words, however we get it out. This is very similar to a prayer without the aspect of begging someone or another entity for these things to happen. Just knowing that we have the power within us in order to make these things transpire in our worlds. Most of us who have tapped into this information are thought leaders, which means we carry and pass on information, or we are thought leaders from the aspect of self-improvement and wanting to better ourselves. And because we are on the journey of bettering ourselves, we are bettering the world, because it starts within. It starts right here. It starts right now. It starts with us. It is each person's responsibility to better themselves. It is not others' responsibility to better others, because that puts a sense of strain on the other person who feels like they have to change the world or better themselves, or better the world. But it's a sense of ease when that person feels as though they are living their true and authentic self. They're able to be free. They're able to work on developing the highest version of their selves. And if anyone should pick up on that, that they will be very grateful to have been an example on how to improve a life. So today we're talking about balance. We're talking about yes and no. See, because I think no gets a bad rap, but no is very vital to this whole game, the game that we call life. We're talking about the yin and the yang. Normally, when you hear Americans say yin and the yang, it's always yin and yang. It's not yin or yang, because both of them are required in order to provide some type of balance. We're talking about assets and liabilities, not assets or liabilities. Both of them are needed to provide a sense of balance. Talking about healthy and unhealthy. We're talking about the good and the bad. As I end this conversation today, I want you to go about your day and think about the balance of things and how it all operates, and how it's all meant to come together for you, to serve you, to honor you. And I want you to think about how you allow or disallow it to serve you and honor you. How can you conduct yourself in a better fashion that's going to allow those uncomfortable moments, times, business deals, transactions, nasty people, ugly people, smelly situations, disgusting vibrations to be an asset for you and your life? Because it's all about a balance. And the more and more you think about these things, the more and more you will see that it is necessary. I love you very much, and I'll see you in the comment section below. Bye-bye for now.